Hello. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Welcome if you are new. Thank you for stopping by and watching one of my videos. I am currently videoing or doing a digital diary diary of my Zepbound journey. It is a GLP-1 medication, particularly for weight loss. I have filmed a couple videos. If you haven't gone to see those, go back and watch that after you've watched this video. I've shared, a couple of videos of my journey throughout the weeks since I started filming and tracking on YouTube, and I've also shared some additional information that is helpful for this journey as well. So today I've decided that I want to go back because I waited a while before I decided to start sharing my journey on YouTube since I've been taking the Zepbound medication. So I just wanted to kind of go back and give some information for my as to my experience when I started the medication back in April, and just kind of share some information regarding that. So today I will be going over the first dose that I took, which is the 2.5 milligram dose, and discussing my experience on that dose from week 1 to week 4. So the first box, pretty much, because there's 4 pins in a box. For those who aren't familiar, there are 4 pins in a box, which pretty much is a month worth of medication. So I'm gonna share how it affected me, how I felt, my thoughts versus reality, and then also discussing the weight loss and how I felt in my experience on that dose as well. So first things first, I have my phone here, so I keep looking down for my notes. My side effects, or how I was affected by starting the medication. I would say I did have some slight fatigue when I started taking the medication, and it was to be expected. I had done my research, and a lot of the information that I saw in the videos that I watched talked about the side effects, and one of them was fatigue. So I did experience that. I also experienced some dehydration or dry mouth. I would wake up in the morning and I would just feel so dehydrated and my mouth would be dry. So when I first started the medication, I drank a lot of water. And I talk about that in my top 5 essential videos for things that are essential while on this journey. Water is very, very, very important. When I first started this journey, I wanted the water, I craved it, but then as I moved on in the journey, I found that I wasn't craving it as much anymore. So I'm having to be very, very conscious about my water intake and making sure that I get in a good amount of water every day. So that was one of the other things that I experienced in the beginning, was the dehydration, and then just having what I felt like to me was like dry mouth. So I drank a lot of water to combat that. And then I had already started using a electrolyte in my water earlier this year because I found that it was helping with other things. So I also was adding that as well to help with hydration during that time as well. One of the other things that I don't think a lot of people talk about, or maybe I just haven't heard or saw videos, is brain fog. I experienced brain fog at the beginning of this journey. I was a little nervous because I thought it was going to be something that I was going to experience throughout the journey. I am happy to say now that I am further along that I don't really experience that anymore. But that is something that I did experience at the beginning, was brain fog. I just felt I felt it in my body, like I was just kind of just didn't know if I was coming or going. Not that bad, but I just knew that I felt just a little different. So I knew it was probably the medication. I was just like, okay, let's just see how it goes. Talk to my doctor if it doesn't change. I found that even when I was having conversations and stuff, I couldn't, think of what I was trying to, the point that I was trying to get to, or, land the plane, as some people say. So that was one of the other effects that I experienced at the beginning. So I believe that's something normal. And I will say too, when I started taking the medication, they were talking on the on one of the news channels that I watch about one of the other medications and people experiencing emotional differences and stuff like that. So I was really nervous, oh no, I don't want to take this medicine and then I have other issues with things like that. But I'm happy to say that I did get past that. So maybe that's why I don't hear about it a lot. or people don't talk about it. But in case, you know, for someone who is looking to start this medication, or if you're new to the medication and you have experienced that, you are not alone. I also experienced it, and fortunately, I believe I've gotten past it, or I've gotten past that point. But that was something that was kind of scary at first, when I first started taking the medication, regarding, you know, brain fog and just not being able to complete what I was trying to say or thinking. It was kind of hard, but thankfully we got past it. So another thing that I experienced was trying to, because I am a coffee drinker. I usually drink coffee daily. I've been doing it for years now. Thinking about trying to stop, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. So I would drink my, you know, my regular coffee, fix it up and everything normal. I haven't been putting sugar in my coffee in years. I was using creamers at the time, and I would make my coffee, and I did feel like I would kind of get dizzy or woozy. So I did lower my dose, and my regular dose was medium dark. That's what I usually drink. So I went down to a medium roast, and I did feel like that was better, that maybe the medium dark at the time was a little too strong to be drinking while, you know, beginning this medication. So I went down to the medium, and that was better for me. So yeah, so those were some of the effects that I did experience taking this medication from the beginning. I think I hope I've gotten everything. It's been, you know, kind of a while now since I started, so I just try to make sure I jot down all the things that I can remember while taking the medication, the 2.5 dose at the beginning. So my thoughts versus reality. So before taking this medication, as I shared before, I did do some research, and I, you know, read some things, and I watched plenty videos as well, just to kind of get, you know, a little background information, so I knew what I was going into, in addition to what I had spoken to my provider about. So my thoughts going into, or starting to take this medication, that I wasn't going to feel hungry. Because a lot of people, you know, that I've spoken to, even personally, they were saying that, you know, they just don't feel hungry. They can go a whole day without even thinking about food. So I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So that was not the case. I found for me, not that I was, you know, eating like I used to before taking the medication, but I did get hungry. I did get fuller faster, which was, you know, an effect of the medication, and I ate smaller portions. I did not snack or feel the need or desire to want to snack as much as I may have previously. So that was a difference. So I did, you know, feel hungry. I did have the desire to eat, but I just ate less. So that was something different from what I was thinking I was going into, based off some of the conversations that I had with other people, or some of the other videos that I may have watched before. Let's see. Oh, also the side effects that I heard of going into this was like nausea, fatigue, and constipation were the top 3 side effects that I had heard about. And I even talked to my doctor about it too. She mentioned it as well, and offered to prescribe medication for me just in case I experienced it. Thankfully, I can say that when starting this medication on the 2.5 dose, I did not experience those. Like I said, I did have slight fatigue, but I did not experience that. Also, food aversion was something that I had heard people talking about as well. I didn't experience that either, and I was really nervous, because there are some foods, even before taking this medication, that I can smell, and it does kind of make me, you know, woozy. So I was really concerned about that. But thankfully, I didn't experience that. I could smell food, and I was okay. I felt fine. So yeah, so that was something else that I was thinking of, that thankfully I did not have to experience. Also, I had saw someone say, or a few people say, that doing the shot in the leg opposed to the stomach, which I think most people are familiar with going into this journey, was better. They said that it affected them better, and whatever else. Someone also I saw said that they did experience nausea when they did it in the stomach, but did not experience it when they gave themselves a shot in the leg, which, you know, is probably their truth. I don't, you know, deny that at all. on their behalf. But I have given myself a shot in 4 places since I started this medication. Well, different areas, 2 places, but like 4 places all around. So I do in my belly, on the left side and the right side, and then I do each leg. Those are the 4 places that I've done shots. I haven't really noticed too much of a difference. Although I will say one time when I did it in my leg, I did kind of feel kind of a strong effect. Like, right, it was really weird. Like, I felt it. But that was one time, and I don't think I felt anything like that before after doing that. So I don't think, for me, that giving my shot in my leg opposed to my stomach, or my stomach opposed to my leg, that it makes too much of a difference. Although I do recommend switching up your shot location, because you don't want to give yourself a shot in the same place every time. Then your body will just get used to it, and that will have an effect on the effects of the medication. So I do recommend switching it up if you can. You can also do it in the back of your arm. That's the 3rd spot. I have not tried that spot yet. I think I will, just to give it a try, and then I'll come back and share and tell you guys what I think about that. They do recommend that you have someone help you with the back of the arm. Obviously, that is a harder spot to reach, and the pin is, you know, kind of lengthy, and having to unlock it and do all the things that you need to do is kind of a struggle. I did see someone lift their arm and give themselves a shot in the arm that way. So I think that's another way that you can do it if you want to try it in your arm and you don't have anyone who can help you with giving your shot. So those are my thoughts versus reality. So as we know, or most people know, the 2.5 milligram dose for Zepbound is what they call the starter dose. It is pretty much the dose that you are prescribed to make sure that your body can handle the medication before moving on to the higher dose. I did lose some weight while taking the 2.5 milligram dose. I lost a total of 5 pounds on the first box, with a slight moment of weight gain. Now, that's another thing that I plan on talking about in another video that I have planned regarding experiencing weight gain while on this medication. So when I experienced it the first time, I was really, really nervous. And for it to be my first box and just starting the medication, it made me really, really scared. But fortunately, I got past it, and I totally understood why. So I started taking my first Zepbound shot in April 26th was when I first started on the 2.5 dose. And I started at 221.6. I did get down to 216 even is what I tracked on my 3rd shot. But then on week 6, I tracked going back up to 219. But then the following week after that, when I started my 2nd box, I was on to 213. So with that week between 5 and 6 with the weight gain, it was because I was on my menstrual. Very transparent. So that is why I had the slight weight gain, or why there was a flux in the weight. So I tracked for that first box a total weight loss of 5 pounds, which is really, really good for a starter dose. And that's why my doctor decided to keep me on the 2.5, because I had lost some weight, and she didn't really want to move me up too fast. So that was good that she kept me on that dose for the 2.5, and I actually stayed on that dose just one more additional month, and then she moved me up to the 5 milligram, which is I will share the beginning of that journey as well. So yeah, guys, that is what I wanted to share with my beginning stages of my GLP-1 journey, going over the week 1 through 4, and what I experienced on the 2.5 milligram dose. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't yet, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and join me on this journey, as I plan to track as much as I can and post my experience on this journey. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this information was helpful, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.